This is a $1 billion disaster. Actually, it was $1.018 billion, I think, right? There were 20 million or $18 million in debt.
Right.
It's incredible. And I raised millions of that. I have friends that I have to be accountable to and to explain what happened because I told them it was a margin of error race. I was promised, Jen O'Malley Dillon promised all of us that Harris would win. She even put videos out saying that Harris would win. I believed her. My donors believed her.
Action.
Nobody wants to be known as the world's biggest loser. The biggest question after the election is, how do you spend $1 billion and still lose the election? I think the bigger question is for black folks, are black people for sale?
What for order of ribs?
$250.
$250?
Is the black vote for sale? They're throwing out money to everybody. She paid Oprah Winfrey $1 million. Hey, Oprah, you got $1 billion. What, you for the Lolo just for $1 million? I can get you to come to my function? Or do I have to be a black woman in order for Oprah to come to my function? Or do I have to be an Indian woman in order to get Oprah to come to my function for $1 million? I think Kamala must have used Oprah as an advisor. Did y'all see that clip on the Oprah show back in the day when you get a car, you get a car, you get a car?
You get a car! 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 Everybody gets a car!
I think Oprah must have went to Kamala and said, that's the playbook, okay, just try to pay everybody. Go to Meg the Stallion and give her $3 million. Call Beyonce and give Beyonce $10 million. I'm so disappointed in Beyonce. Auntie Beyonce, you came to Houston for $10 million just to tell black women that they should terminate their babies. Can we have a moment of silence for the 63 million babies that were terminated since 1973? Can we have a moment of silence? Can we pray for the 63 million babies that were terminated since 1973? Once you get a fact stuck in your mind, man, you just can't even change it.
H-Town.
I know Kamala and Beyonce, all these people, they must know this stat that 63 million babies who never got to see the light of day since 1973. And for everybody who says, well, what about the people who get taken advantage of? And what about the people who got strong-armed? And what about the people who got a medical condition? Hey, historically, since these numbers been kept, less than 2% of those people had any of those things. And so 98% of the people who have this procedure are doing it because, hey, I ain't got enough money. I don't want it. I don't want it. Man, that's the ethos of the women right now is I don't want no babies.
More millennials and Gen Z adults are deciding not to have kids, and it appears one of the main reasons is money. According to a new survey from Mass Mutual, about 23% of adults ranging from 18 to 43 years old say they don't want children because they value their financial freedom.
They paid $1 billion to program black women that you don't want to be a mom, that a baby is a hindrance to your life. And I think that's the craziest ideology that's ever existed in the whole history of the world. They were paying black women to promote the idea of not creating children, not promoting family, and those kind of ideas. That's how you lose. I think Kamala Harris might single-handedly be the worst political candidate I've ever seen in my entire life. Why would I say that? Because I think she's going to be the last person that goes from city to city and gives the exact same speech over and over again.
So, friends, 64 days. Let's just get through the next 64 days. How about that?
And then she tries to do it in different dialects. She show up talking about, hey, I'm Jamaican, man. And then she show up talking about,
have you no empathy, man?
Yes.
You know, for the suffering of other people. Have you no sense of purpose?
hey, I'm black and I cook collard greens.
But joy cometh in the morning. The path may seem hard, the work may seem heavy, but joy cometh in the morning.
And then when she's around white people, I'm just Kamala. I'm just Kamala. But when she's want to be ethnic, I don't even know how you spoke. I've heard her name pronounced so many different ways. She's going to be a case study in political theory for the next 50 years. Hey, this is how you don't perform as a candidate. And so when we see that the black vote is able to be bought or swayed by big celebrities, first and foremost, once I saw Jay-Z endorse, what was that white lady's name that ran for president? Anyway, her husband liked to get his pole smoked.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky.
That woman, when he went on that stage, hey, black people, we got to stop supporting losers. And we should not attach ourselves to one political candidate. Right now, hey, Donald Trump is the president of the whole entire United States of America. We're not going to sit there and just say, man, since Donald Trump is the president, we ain't going to say nothing. We ain't going to talk to him. I remember when I heard that the first time he won, black people actually said that we're not going to go to the White House and talk to the president. And the black people who did, they got excommunicated from the black community and said, man, you're not black no more. You lost your black card for talking to the president of the United States of America. If we're going to have a black ideology, then it has to start with, hey, let's be smart and play the game of politics using our brains, huh? It's probably a good idea to talk to the sitting president. It's probably a good idea to whatever agenda that you have. Man, if you have a list of demands, you take your list of demands to the president and you say, hey, dear Donald Trump, black men in America want you to abolish child support and the family court must be non-gendered. So it should be 50-50 custody immediately. Now, if men in America, if you really want to have your family back, you want to get your country back, then we have to have influence on our children. And this really comes through legislation, huh? We have lawyers control America, and it's kind of refreshing that Donald Trump isn't a lawyer, because these lawyers, they believe in, if I put this pen on your butt, then you're going to do exactly what I tell you to do. I'm going to make you do what I want you to do because I can write the laws. And the only way that we push back as, Americans, I really think that's the whole thing. Being the greatest American alive, you have an actual freedom and political discussion with everybody that represents you. I think that's the truest power that's ever. It doesn't matter what they tell you you can do. You have the ability to show them with your actions and to withdraw from their system and say, man, I'm going to be powerful, whether it's Kamala or Donald or J.D. Vance. Y'all better get ready for J.D. Vance.
Is that we're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies.
Vance seeming to imply that people without children shouldn't be in government.
You look at Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, AOC, the entire future of the Democrats is controlled by people without children.
This young man has just made it to the second highest position in vice president. He's going to have some political capital. And when he starts rolling out his agenda, boy, you're going to really hear some ideas. And so you better have some ideas right now to push back against J.D. Vance and whatever the political candidate is coming forward. We're not for sale. We can't be bought. We say no to $10 million. We say no to $1 billion. We say yes to babies. We say yes to families. We say yes to actual political power when our representatives do what we want them to do.
The greatest American alive. The greatest American alive. The greatest American alive. The greatest American alive. The greatest American alive.
Oh shit! God damn it, motherfucker! Ow, ow, ow.